Hi there guys, welcome back to the channel. Thanks very much for joining us again today. Got a short video for you today that will show you how to create a website in under 15 minutes. So today we're going to use Wix as a platform to do this, and to gain access to your very own free trial version of Wix, you can do so by clicking the link in the description below. So once you click that link, that'll take you, after you've watched the video of course, to your free trial version of Wix, which you can give a go for absolutely free. And it'll give you access to the whole range of features of the website builder, with very few exceptions. Things like connecting a customized domain and a very few other, like e-commerce and things like that, are the only things that it restricts. However, you can make, design and publish a site for public view all for free. Very easy to access, very easy to use platform. So if you're an absolute beginner, you can do so and create a really good looking website straight out the box. It also allows you to go into developer mode and use it as a HTML platform as well. So it's for advanced users just as well. So when you first join Wix, you will be presented with a wizard, like a website building guide. If for whatever reason that you've exited that or it didn't work, you'll see something similar to this, like a little dashboard just with less stuff down the bottom. What you're looking for is this create new site button up the top right hand corner. You can also access that button from this little drop down menu in the top left here, and that'll go create new site there for you. So what it'll first ask you is like a general category for your site. So, what's just to give Wix a rough idea of what direction to head in. It doesn't really make any significant impact on your site, whatever it needs to be. So don't worry too much about it. But for example, I'm going to go with a review site for today, and it's going to be a tech review site. So there it is. And I'm going to then click next, and then it asks us just to give the site a name. So you can just say that, and like it says there, you can change that at any point as well, so it's not finite. So this now allows us to see the kind of most commonly used features of a website, and at this stage you can kind of select what you'd like from that list. You can delete them once you've added them to your site if you don't need them anymore, or if you don't like them, and you can also add them further down the line as well. So this again is just a kind of a starting point, really, what you want from the start. So obviously if it's going to be a tech review site, we've got video set as default. You can also go like an online store maybe. I'll leave that off for a second just to keep it a little bit simpler. I'll go for an event and a music page, say, just to keep it simple. And then you can go next. Obviously, you can add those things, further down the line, like I said. So at this stage, you can then choose to go straight to the dashboard and make the site from scratch. And then the route that we're going to take, because we've got a certain time frame to get this done today, is the begin with template route. So that's a lot quicker, a lot more efficient to build a site in that nature. So if we go begin with template, you'll get then access to an extensive library of templates from Wix. So you can see that, because we're within the category, we've got a couple of pages of templates there, and you can see that, they look very different. So there's a huge range here. So you've got collections of templates. Have a look at what's new at the moment, and take your time and browse what's around, because you're bound to find something which will give you an idea, or which looks like what you want your website to look and feel like, or so don't rush into it. One of the commonly reviewed shortcomings of the Wix platform is that once you've chosen your template and you've utilized it, you can't then switch to another template. You can make significant changes and make it look like another template, but you can't just immediately switch to another. So bear that in mind. I built a site that was initially black, and I changed it to look white like that one there, and every time I added a new page I would have to change the background and the text color from the default, and that adds a lot of work. You'd be surprised. So just bear that in mind. Try and find something that is kind of your color palette from the get-go, so you have to make very little modifications to it as you're building it. So images, don't focus too much on. You can get rid of them and replace them very quickly. It's more like color palette and font that I'm looking at. So if, for example, I like the look of this one, you can have a look at it by clicking view. You can browse that site then as an end user would, and kind of get a feel for what it would look like and feel like. And then if you want to utilize that, and obviously very important to look at it on a mobile device, you can hit that little icon at the top and that will allow you to, see what it looks like on a phone, for example. So if you've decided that, you like that template now and you want to edit it, hit edit. And that will then launch the Wix website editor. So as that's booting up, it takes a minute sometimes to initialize. You'll be able to see in a second how easy and intuitive it is. So when you select items on the page, a little menu will appear above that item, and that's kind of the way that the Wix system works. So you can see from the get-go, it's quite clean. There's not much going on. So this text, for example, when I select it with a single left click, this little menu here pops up. I can double click it to hit that text and type in whatever I want. And then if for whatever reason you don't want an object or a piece of text or anything like that, single left click, and then you can hit backspace on the keyboard and that will get rid of it. So you can see now that in this little section, this box here is called a section. I've now got, a little bit of dead space, so I can resize that section by simply clicking and dragging that up like that. You can see that I've got that little line there as well. Get rid of that. It's need to be there. And, it is very easy to use. So this image, for example, it's just in a strip, and to change that background, you could go there and, very quickly, if you, select a different image and load that in there, you can see how quick, and easy it is to make a website very different very quickly, just with a couple of clicks. It's no longer a seafood restaurant. So the vast majority of the things that you want to utilize on a web page, and like the basic stuff, usually comes from this add elements option up here. So once you select that, you get this kind of menu of things, and say, for example, audio and video is a very commonly used format on websites. You'll see there that the majority of the big social media networks and streaming sites are catered for. So you've got like a YouTube player, for example. So vast majority of people do web video will be on YouTube. So you see, you can just click and drag that in as an element. You can resize that as well very easily. And you can also change the video that plays there by default as well. So once you click that button, you just need to paste in the URL for the YouTube video that you want to appear there. And then obviously you can see that it allows it to utilize different platforms to do that as well. So you can essentially like link a video from any of those platforms, as well as upload one from your computer. So, you can see that it has a system that you click an element and that menu comes up, and the little cog is the settings. You've got a layout and a design option, and it's the same for all of those elements. So once you kind of wrap your head around how one of them works, you will learn how the others work as well. So this little add elements button, you can see that, third-party platforms, things like Calendly, MailChimp, things like that are commonly used by people, they will usually, to embed on your website, give you a piece of HTML code. Okay, so usually when you're linking things that aren't available to you in this add elements list, if it's not in here, one of the ways that it'll come in is through this embed code option. So when you are trying to like embed sometimes an Instagram feed, a widget of some kind from somewhere, or, you know, a countdown timer I've done with one of these before, a pop-up message. It'll sometimes come in as a HTML code. So once you load that, you can see that it's just a blank square on my screen, and then you can enter the code into here, paste it in as it's presented to you, just copy and paste it in there, and then that will present in that little box there, formatted to however it's meant to look. You'll see that this template has got a particular color palette, and you access that color palette through this little design button here. So you click customize your color palette, and this one here, and you can see that, you know, those are the colors that are associated with this site. So when I click this text, for example, and then select it like that, and then go edit, you'll see that when I added the color, that palette appears there. So it's like a quick access to all of the colors that are associated with it, and it's an easy way to kind of make things match very quickly. So you can see that that title up there is now the exact same shade of orange as that one there. You know, so you can obviously, you know, when you're utilizing color, add your own if you need to, but that color palette, the theme as it's referred to in Wix, is also very useful. So pages on your website are handled through the pages menu. That's that little green page icon there, and you can see that, you know, the pages of the site that come with it are built into it there. You can also add a page from this area here if you want to add a new page to your site, and that will also then allow you to select from a range of templates. If whatever you're looking for is not in one of these menus, then most likely you will find it in the App Store. Okay, so Wix is an app store or an app market built into it, and things like Instagram feeds, different social media platforms, third-party stuff, widgets, you know, you can see the kind of thing here. They're also available from here as well. So if, for example, like I said, Instagram is a popular one that's got an app on the Wix app market, and you can see that you could display your feed from there, and there's also a lot of third-party stuff that'll do so for you as well. So that's a really good place to look if you're looking for something specific, you know, that's not built into Wix. Once you're kind of done designing your site then, and you've saved it, autosave is on by default, so every time you do something it should save. You can then publish it, and then that will give you a URL, as you can see here in a second, which you can copy and paste and share with the people. So in the interest of keeping in with the title of the video, I'll have to draw it to a close very shortly. So that concludes that. And like I said, there's a link to Wix in the description for this video. So give that a click, and that'll allow you to have a go at it for completely free. If you've enjoyed the video and you want to see more content of this nature, give us a like and subscribe to the channel. And if you've got any questions or suggestions for future videos, leave them as comments down below. Thank you very much.